Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tasha. Let's get into this. So, hi guys. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much. Hello, welcome. Get on in here. All right, please follow us on YouTube at Inappropriate Radio TV. I know I keep saying it, but for real, we're going to be getting on the camera and uploading some other content up there as well. All right, no periodic table, no alien talk, but you already know the creator came through with a message. All right. First of all, it's the difference between being nice and kind. Okay? People who are connected to the creator, who are doing the Lord's work for real, that were not bred for this, but they were chosen, handpicked by the creator, they don't necessarily have a duty to be nice. To be kind, yeah, sure, absolutely. But to be nice, not so much. It's not really a requirement to be nice, because to be honest, being nice are the things that have people take advantage and feel like they can play with you all sorts of ways, okay? So it's very important that people understand when you see people who are representatives of the kingdom, right, of the heavens, of the creator, of the Most High, you have to understand that there are layers of frequencies and energies that they themselves have to comb through and climb through in order to get at a frequency where they're aware of what God is using them for. I mean, these are the people who God has chosen, not the people who have chose themselves. And it's not nothing wrong with, making strides to get closer to the creator, to please, your Lord, and do what may be the best thing, for you. And remember, we had the conversation that sometimes the good thing and the best thing may not always be the thing that the creator wants you to do. Sometimes God intends for things, to be ugly and get ugly. This is how we learn. This is how we learn who we really have in our corner. This is how we learn our strengths and our weaknesses. This is how we learn how much God really loves us and protects us and guides us. This is how we learn how connected we are to the creator. This is how we realize that there's actually a plan, right, over our lives. Things aren't always meant or supposed to be nice. Sometimes shit is gonna get ugly, and it's not always gonna be like favorable, right? Sometimes things are just gonna be like, confusing. And I'm not saying confusing in a way that leaves you like, oh my God, I'm confused and I'm lost, but confusing in a way like, whoa, God, what was that? Like, where are you taking me? If you are truly a representative of the Most High, if you are truly a vessel that He has chosen, you've been getting used by Him, and people have been seeing you way before you were aware of the calling that you have over your life, well before your spiritual gifts have been applicable, and before you can actually use them. That's what I mean by applicable. And well before you stepped into the energy of intentionally worshiping and praising the creator. Okay? People around you, people that have just come across you, people that have had any kind of interactions with you, whether they like you or not, they can see that there's something raw and blessed about you, right? Even if you're not operating in that energy, people can sense, that you have something about you that is indeed special, right? Not everyone is going to agree. Not everyone is going to like it. You have to understand that. And this is for people who are like on the outside looking in, always quick to like judge, always trying to figure out, what it is that you're doing to be in the energy that you're in. A lot of times people are going to just think you're evil. Simply put, like, People are literally going to believe that you are, doing things that have nothing to do with God himself. And that's okay, right? Even when you're being nice, people will often say, oh, they're fake, they're a fraud, they are not genuine, they're doing things in the dark at the wee hours of the morning to receive their blessings and to appear to be blessed and connected to the Creator. People are going to actually pick and poke at you to see how far they can pull you and what it is that they'll be able to get out of you. Trust me, I've seen it happen. It's happened to me, and it's happened to a lot. We've seen it happen to people. Look at like those freedom writers and the freedom fighters and things like that, getting hosed down. And I mean, that's a different scenario, but I'm just saying, when you decide to walk with the Creator, people are going to see how nice you are. You don't have to be nice. Being kind is fine. And actually, I take that back. If you want to be nice, I mean, that's the message. So let me just stick to it. But I'm saying in terms of always feeling like, you have to do this and you have to do that. And this is this and this is this. You absolutely positively don't have to allow anyone to walk all over you. You don't have to humble yourself to appease people. You don't have to change who you are. You don't have to change your hair, your clothes. I mean, of course, if you're going in certain rooms and you're going to be amongst and amidst certain people having certain conversations, of course, you want to spruce yourself up and make yourself, fit the bill and fit the frequency that is, compatible with whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish, right? But the people who really see you, they can see beyond that. You just want to look presentable because you want to look presentable, or you want to be presentable just because you want to be presentable. That's one thing, right? But if you literally have to find yourself in situations that don't really allow you to have all of the things that you need to have, number one, that should be like a telltale sign you're in the wrong place. But a lot of the times you have to call in the energy. And calling in the energy isn't always just like, okay, I need to be in alignment. Like, no, you need to do what is required. Meaning, you need to think, behave, and function as if you're already there. You need to be interacting with the people that are already there. And when I say already there, I mean accomplishing the things that you wish to accomplish. Make friends with people who are knowledgeable about those areas. And none of these things require you to be nice. They require you to do what is required. If you're doing what is required, you're automatically going to be in the proper frequency to connect with the things that you are supposed to be connecting with, okay? Not every person that knows you is going to care about how nice you are. Some people literally want to know that you have grit, that you have a backbone, that you're not just some weak little puppy that people can just walk all over, especially if you're going to be doing something for God. If God is calling you to a position, remember, this is about spiritual warfare. Let's not get lost. You're going to get attacked. And you can't go crying and prostrating every time someone is coming against you. You have to know how to combat the attacks, especially the spiritual ones. I'm not saying prayer isn't the answer. I'm saying that you're not going to always have the opportunity to spiritually combat those things. In some cases, you are going to be confronted with the perception, right, of hate, with the perception of fear, with this disdain from people who just don't like you just because they just don't like you, right? That is one thing. But if you are sure that you are in a space that will allow you to grow because the Creator has put you there, you have to stand on firm feet. You got to stand 10 toes. And sometimes people are just not going to like you. Sometimes people are going to make lies up about you. They're going to intentionally do things to pull you out of your element. And there's no room for being nice in that, right? People pleasing, always trying to find the right words to say, always, like, scratch that. Being kind, however, is something different, right? Always displaying the fruits of the Spirit. Always being humble in ways that the Creator wants you to be humble, because, right, there's things that God wants you to be humble about, and then there's things that man wants you to be humble about. You don't have to humble yourself before man. I mean, to be a person that is relatable, I mean, you're kind of shaking a tree there, a big watermelon tree that can plop you right over there later if you're not careful, right? But, and as you start to get more in tune spiritually, and we talked about the 7 fruits of the Spirit, if you are actively operating in your gifts, you will always know how to respond to things that are coming to disturb your peace. And I'm not even sure, like, if we did a segment on this. I believe we just talked about it briefly, and it like came up in another segment, but this is like a full on segment about being nice versus kind. Some people, they don't really understand that you have to be an ass sometimes so people can take you seriously, so they can know not to play with you, so they can know you can't be walked all over, that you're a force and not a toy. Sometimes it is necessary. And like I said, the more you learn about like the fruits of the Spirit, and the more you're actively operating in your gifts, and the more you are willing to connect and do all that is required, right, to stay in alignment, then you'll start seeing the difference between kind and nice, right? And then we look at some of these people that we hold at higher standards, and we're like, oh, you're an asshole, you're a bitch, or you're this or that. Yeah, because they understand that they don't have to be nice. Being kind is totally different from being nice. So you have to make sure you understand the difference if you're going to walk with the Creator, because there's not much room for nice people when you're doing what it is that God wants you to do, because people are automatically going to look for ways to not only just pull you out of your element, but ways to get you to be in situations that you are just like, what am I doing here? Why is this happening? People are going to always look for ways to find fault or to attack you, right? And, you know, like I said, this isn't always about, you know, your fears or humbling you or finding your weakness, even though it is. But most of the time, it's just about you learning how to track your progress. Because if you are truly something that God created, you had to pivot. There's a change you had to make in your own life before you started actually walking in your blessings and in your calling. Okay? Learn the difference quick, fast, because we are moving into spaces where we're going to be actively attacking demons and actively attacking, and our own egos have to be removed, right? And sometimes you may think being nice is removing your ego, but it's quite the opposite. All right. But I'm going to end it here. I do love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all weekend. I hope y'all rested. I hope you have been drinking your water, eating your fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea. And I hope y'all ready for them kids to go back to school. All right. Love y'all. Peace.